Good day, everyone. Today we're going to talk about Republic Act of Number 9372, an act to secure the state and protect our people from terrorism. The Human Security Act of 2007, also known as Human Security Act of 2007, is a Philippine law aimed at securing the state and protecting its people from acts of terrorism. The Act defines terrorism and outlines measures to prevent and respond to terrorist activities while also ensuring the protection of human rights and fundamental liberties. It emphasizes a comprehensive approach to counter terrorism, including political, economic, diplomatic, military, and legal strategies. Overview. This is the topic that we'll be going to talk about. The silent point of the topic would be the terrorism, as it is the most noticeable or important part of this discussion. Terrorism involves violence and the threat of violence. Any act intended to cause death or serious bodily harm to civilians or non-combatants with the purpose of intimidating a population of serious bodily harm, compelling a government or an international organization to do or abstain doing any act. Policy of the law. Section 2. 1. Protect life, liberty, and property from acts of terrorism. 2. Condemn terrorism as inimical and dangerous to the national security of the country and to the welfare of the people. 3. Make terrorism a crime against the Filipino people, against humanity, and against the law of nation. 4. Uphold the basic rights and fundamental liberties of the people as enshrined in the Constitution. 5. Respect for human rights which shall be absolute and protected at all times. Which means it's a balanced approach to security, fighting terrorism effectively while respecting human dignity and rights. These are the articles included in the Republic Act of 9372. Under the Revised Penal Code, Article 122, or piracy in general and immunity in the high seas or in the Philippine waters. Article 134, rebellion or insurrection. Article 134-A, coup d'etat, including acts of committed by private persons. Article 248, murder. Article 267, kidnapping and serious illegal detention. Article 324, crimes involving destruction under special laws. 1. Arson under P.D. 1613. 2. Violation of RA 6969 or toxic substance and nuclear waste control. 3. RA 5207 or Atomic Energy Regulatory and Liability Act of 1968. 4. Hijacking. Number 5. Piracy in still waters and highway robbery. 6. PD 1866 or possession and manufacture of firearms or explosives. Motive of terrorism. In order to coerce the government to give it to an unlawful demand, or should we say the things that they wanted to achieve by doing terrorism. Result of the act, sowing and creating a condition of widespread and extraordinary fear and panic among the populace. Person liable. These are the people who are involved in terrorism. Principal, conspirators, Section 4, accomplice, Section 5, accessories, Section 6. Principal, 40 years of imprisonment, no parole as provided for under Act Number 4103, Indeterminate Sentence Law, Section 3. Principal offenders, individuals who directly committed acts of terrorism such as bombings, assassinations, kidnappings, and other violent acts intended to create fear and coerce the government or public. conspiracy to commit terrorism, persons who conspires to commit the crime of terrorism shall the penalty of 40 to 40 years of imprisonment. There is conspiracy when two or more people come to an agreement concerning the commission of the crime of terrorism and decided to commit the same. Or should we say conspirators are individuals involved in planning or conspiring to commit terrorist acts, even if the act is not ultimately carried out. Another thing, another person liable is accomplice. Any person who not being a principal under Article 17 of the RPC or conspirator as defined in Section 4 cooperates in the execution of either the crime of terrorism or conspiracy to commit terrorism by previous or simultaneous acts shall suffer the penalty of from 17 years, 4 years, months, 1 day to 20 years of imprisonment. So, these people are who assist, support, or facilitate the commission of terrorism, even if they do not carry out the act in themselves. Notwithstanding the above paragraph, the penalties prescribed for accessories shall not be imposed upon those who are such with respect to their spouses, ascendants, descendants, legitimate natural and adopted brothers and sisters, or relatives by affinity within the same degrees, with a single exception of accessories falling within the provision of subparagraph A. Tools provided by law in fighting terrorism. Tools provided by the law in fighting terrorism refers to the various measures and mechanisms the law established to effectively combat terrorism. These tools are designed to enhance the government's capability to prevent, detect, and respond to terrorist activities while upholding human rights and legal standards. These tools are crucial for ensuring that the authorities have the necessary legal framework to address the complex and evolving nature of terrorist threats while balancing the need for protecting civil liberties. So this is the surveillance of suspects and interception and recording of communication. Section 7 allows surveillance, interception, and recording of communication. Use of any mode, form, kind of type of electronic or other surveillance equipment. A period of 30 days, renewable for another 30 days upon a written order or the author- authorizing division of Court of Appeals. Prohibits surveillance of privileged communication among the following. These are the lawyers' clients, doctors and patients, journalists and sources, confidential business correspondence. There must be a written order from the Court of Appeals to track down, tap, listen to, intercept, and record communications, messages, conversation, discussions, or spoken or written words of any person suspected of the crime of terrorism or the crime of conspiracy to commit terrorism. Upon an ex parte written application of a police or law enforcement official authorized by the Anti-Terrorism Council, the written authorization to conduct surveillance shall not exceed 30 days, extendable for another 30 days. B. Proscription of terrorist organization, association, or groups of persons. Section 17. Organization organized for the purpose of engaging in terrorism or which, although not organized for that purpose, actually uses acts to terrorize are declared as terrorists and are outlawed. The Department of Justice may apply for such prescription. The organization will be given due notice and opportunity to be heard. Detention of suspected terrorists without warrant of arrest. Section 18. The Act allows warrantless arrest. The suspect, however, must be delivered to the proper judicial authority within the 3-day period. The arrest must be the result of the surveillance under Section 7 and examination of bank deposits under Section 27 of the Act. D. Examination of bank deposits, accounts, and records. Section 27. Examination of bank accounts of terrorist suspects. Seizure of freezing of the proceeds thereof. Seizure or sequestration of other properties. Properties of a convicted terrorist be forfeit in favor of the government. There shall be a special court designated to handle anti-terrorism cases. Special court may authorize in writing any police or law enforcement officer and the members of his or her team to A. Examine or cause the examination of the deposits, placement, trust accounts, assets, and records in a bank or financial institution. B. Gather or cause the gathering of any relevant information about such deposits, placement, trust accounts, assets, and records from a bank or financial institution. The bank or financial institution concerned shall not refuse to allow such examination or to provide the desired information when so ordered by and served with written order of the Court of Appeals. Section 28 of the Act provides for the procedure for the application ex parte for the examination of bank deposits, accounts, and records by the police or by a enforcement official. Section 29 provides for the classification and contents of the court order. The written order of the court is considered as classified information. However, the person whose bank deposit, placement, trust accounts, assets, and records have been examined, frozen, sequestered, and seized has the right to be informed of the acts done by the law enforcement authorities or to challenge the legality of the interference. Section 30. Written order shall be effective only within 30 days from the date of receipt by the applicant, police, or law enforcement official, extendable for another 30 days upon application by the original applicant, provided he has been duly authorized in writing by the Anti-Terrorism Council and upon showing that such renewal is in the public interest. The applicant, police, or law enforcement official shall file appropriate charges before the Public Prosecutor's Office for any violation of the Act within 30 days after the expiration of the period granted by the Court of Appeals. Section 31. All information obtained in the examination of deposit placement, trust accounts, assets, and records shall be deposited with the authorizing division of the Court of Appeals within 48 hours after the expiration fixed in the written order of the court, or within 48 hours after the expiration of the extension or renewal. The said deposit shall be seized, sequestered, and frozen. These are the other penalties. Failure of police or law enforcement official to immediately notify the person subject of the surveillance, interception, and recording of the termination of said surveillance when no case is filed within the 30-day period from the date of receipt of the written order of the authorizing division of the Court of Appeals, 10 years and 1 day to 12 years of imprisonment. Section 10. Unlawful custody of intercepted and recorded communication. It shall be unlawful for any person to copy in whatever form, to remove, delete, expunge, incinerate, shred, or destroy in any manner the items enumerated in this act in whole or in part. Any person who removes, deletes, expunges, incinerates, shreds, or destroys the items enumerated in Section 11 of the Act shall suffer a penalty of not less than 6 years and 1 day to 12 years of imprisonment. Omission or exclusion of any item from the joint affidavit. It shall be unlawful for any person, police or law enforcement official to omit or exclude from the joint affidavit required under Section 12 of the Act of any item or portion thereof mentioned in the said section. Any person, police or law enforcement officer who violates any of the acts proscribed in the preceding paragraph shall suffer the penalty of not less than 10 years and 1 day to 12 years of imprisonment. Application to open deposited sealed envelope or sealed package. Any person, law enforcement official, or judicial authority who violates his duty to notify as defined in Section 14 of the Act shall suffer the penalty of 6 years and 1 day to 8 years of imprisonment. Unauthorized or malicious interceptions and/or recordings, 10 years and 1 day to 12 years of imprisonment. The penalty of 10 years and 1 day to 12 years imprisonment and the accessory penalty of perpetual absolute disqualification from public office shall be imposed for maliciously obtaining an authority from the Court of Appeals to track down, tap, listen to, intercept, and record in whatever manner or form any communication, message, conversation, discussions, or spoken or written words of a person charged with or suspected of the crime of terrorism or conspiracy to commit terrorism. Period of detention without judicial warrant of arrest. The penalty of 10 years and 1 day to 12 years of imprisonment shall be imposed upon the police or law enforcement personnel who fails to notify any judge as provided in Section 18 of the Act. Penalty for failure to deliver suspect to the proper judicial authority within 3 days. 10 years and 1 day to 12 years of imprisonment shall be imposed upon any police or law enforcement personnel who has apprehended or arrested, detained, and taken custody of a person charged with or suspected of the crime of terrorism or conspiracy to commit terrorism and fails to deliver such charged or suspected person to the proper judicial authority within the period of 3 days. Other penalties: penalty for violation of rights of detainee, 10 years and 1 day to 12 years of imprisonment. Same penalty shall be imposed on the police officer or head or leader of the law enforcement unit. What are these rights? Right to be informed of the nature and cause of the arrest, to remain silent, to counsel, to communicate and confer with counsel at any time without restriction, to communicate at any time without restriction with members of family or relatives and be visited by them, to avail of the services of physician of choice. Requirement for an official custodial logbook and its contents. Section 23. The police or law enforcement custodial unit who fails to comply with the requirement of Section 23 of the Act to keep an official logbook shall suffer the penalty of 10 years and 1 day to 12 years of imprisonment. Therefore, the conclusion on Republic Act of 9372, the Human Security Act of 2007, empowers the Philippines to combat terrorism while safeguarding human rights. It equips authorities with tools to prevent, detect, and respond to terrorist activities, ensuring national security without compromising civil liberties. This law strikes a balance between protecting the nation and upholding justice and freedom. Thank you for listening.
Okay. So, Republic Act 9372, that is a Human Security Act of 2007 actually, was enacted in the Philippines to address threats to national security such as terrorism. So the law defines terrorism as acts that cause widespread fear and harm, no, to the public, including bombings, assassination, and other forms of violence aimed at destabilizing the government or intimidating the population. It provides a framework for prevention, prosecution, and punishment of terrorism-related activities while aiming to balance security measures with respect to human rights. The Act, no, grants law enforcement agencies certain powers to combat terrorism, such as surveillance, no, wiretapping, no, and the detention of suspects. However, it includes safeguards to prevent abuse, no, including requiring judicial authorization for surveillance and limiting detention, no, without charges to 3 days. It is also imposes hefty penalties to for wrongful detention or abuse by law enforcement officers. Despite these safeguards, the law has been criticized to its potential to infringe on civil liberties, no, and its vagueness, no, in defining terrorism, raising concern about its possible misuse against activists and dissenters. No? So therefore, RA 9372 was seen as a response to the growing global threat of terrorism, aligning the Philippines with international efforts to combat extremism. However, it faced challenges in implementation due to public distrust, no, and opposition from human rights groups. No, critics argued that the law's provision were overly broad and could be weaponized against political opponents. And these issues led the eventual repeal, no, of RA 9372 in its replacement by the Anti-Terrorism Act 2020, which aimed to address this concern while strengthening counterterrorism measures. Okay?